It's the final stretch before New York City picks its next mayor, and early voting has already told a story of its own. Over 735,000 New Yorkers have cast their ballots early, which is 4 times higher than the city's last mayoral election. The surge is historic. It is the biggest early in-person turnout New York has ever seen for a non-presidential year. Brooklyn led the count with nearly 244,000 early votes, followed by Manhattan with 212,000 votes. Queens with about 166,000, even the Bronx and Staten Island saw their numbers climb, signaling one of the most engaged city electorates in decades. Pollsters say this year's turnout could touch 2 million by Election Day, numbers not seen since the late 1960s. Traditionally, older New Yorkers dominate off-year elections. But this time, the city's youth is showing up in force. Early in the week, voters under 35 made up just 12% of the turnout. By Sunday, they climbed to 22%, casting over 100,000 ballots in the final 3 days. The median early voters' age has dropped to 50, lower than during the presidential election in 2024.
A well-meaning Muslim uncle pulled me aside. In a quiet voice, he told me I did not have to tell people I was Muslim.
That is good news for Zohran Mamdani, the 34-year-old Democratic Socialist who's leading the race. He has built his campaign around affordability and fairness, taxing millionaires, freezing rents, expanding childcare, and making buses free. Endorsed by Obama, Harris, and Sanders, Mamdani has positioned himself as the face of the city's younger, more progressive base.
Rent down, comma, crime down, comma, education scores up.
His biggest challenger, Andrew Cuomo, the former governor, is fighting to reclaim political ground. Cuomo's strength lies with older, moderate and independent voters who have turned out early in large numbers than expected. Polls show Cuomo trailing, but his support among New Yorkers over 50 and in affluent Manhattan gives him a lifeline. Experts say as turnout grows and leans more moderate, Cuomo could narrow the gap. But he's also battling his past, scandal, party estrangement, and a city that has changed since his last term in office.
Curtis Sliwa exceeds all expectations and looks very mayoral tonight.
Then there is Curtis Sliwa, the Republican and Guardian Angels founder, who refuses to step aside. He's polling around 15 to 20%, and his presence could split the anti-Mamdani vote, something that Cuomo's camp fears the most. Analysts say if Sliwa's voters stick with him, then Mamdani's path to City Hall widens. The numbers tell a tight but clear story. Averaging across major polls, Mamdani leads Cuomo by roughly 10 to 15 points, with Sliwa far behind. Emerson College puts Mamdani at 51%, Cuomo at 26%. Marist has him up 16 points. Suffolk shows a narrower 10-point margin that has enough to keep both campaigns awake at night. Pollsters agree on one thing: enthusiasm is on Mamdani's side, but turnout size could reshape the map. The generational gap is talked about the most this race. Younger voters, renters, gig workers, first-timers are powering Mamdani's rise. Older, established New Yorkers see Cuomo as a safer bet, but Sliwa is fighting for his relevance. If patterns hold, Mamdani's younger base will grow through Election Day, while Cuomo's older bloc holds steady. A clash of visions for what kind of city New York wants to be. In this race, it is a mix of high turnout and unpredictability. Mamdani's team sees momentum, Cuomo's camp sees a comeback, and everyone else sees New York doing what it does best, arguing about the future.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.